Hey, I'm Dax Flame, and my girlfriend is kind of like Bigfoot. She doesn't exist. And that's why I'm looking for love, and I like to go for walks, I like to go to movies, I like to do the simple things, and I'm looking for someone who likes the same. Come say hi to me if you ever see me walking around Hollywood, LA, or I have social media or an email, and feel free to contact me.
This episode of Take Your Shoes Off is a special Love on the Spectrum Shoes Off style with our guest Dax Flame. Cold open.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
Come. Hello. Are you excited for Dax to come over?
Yeah, I'm excited to meet Dax.
Oh yeah, me too.
Excuse me, Alvin. Thanks, bud. Was that Dax texting? Is he going to be here soon? That was not Dax texting, Alvin, but I do think he's going to be here soon. Well, tell him to hurry up. I am.
So I'm going to have you on the blanket, and you can put your water on here. Sorry if the microphone's a little low. I had a very small guest recently.
Sorry if the microphone's low. I had a really small guest recently.
That's funny.
Hey, I'm going to focus you. Do you want to look to camera for me? Or go where you're going to be? Oh, great. Yeah, great. You're going to like that. Have you seen Men's Warehouse commercial? Mm-mm. Where they go, you're going to like the way you look, I guarantee it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
So I see you brought your own drink.
Yes.
Fair to say that there's nothing you want me to get you to drink?
Yeah, I'm okay. What's that big gold thing?
You can see this?
Yes.
Nothing? You weren't supposed to see that. I'm just kidding. This is it's to put like drinks in. I haven't put a spout on it yet.
Okay.
But you could put like water or like, do you know Paul Newman's lemonade?
Yes.
You could put anything in here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite drink?
No.
Okay.
I like it though.
Cool.
And it's something I've had a lot of.
Cool. Should I put this anywhere closer or something?
What do you? This is going to sound
They told me to
condescending, and
put-
maybe I am, but like, what do you think is best? Because I don't want to tell the guest what to do.
Whatever you like.
Do you
People
want to
always
listen?
tell me to put it
Do you
closer.
want to listen and see?
No.
How, you don't want to listen? You don't like the sound of your voice in headphones?
Mm-mm.
Let me hear it a little closer.
Hello.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes we get a little feedback if it's not close enough,
Okay.
and then Matt has to do a little extra work on the mix.
Cool.
No, not cool.
Okay.
I don't want him to have to work that much harder.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I come close to you?
Uh-uh. So just put it back there after I take drinks. I drink a lot. Well, maybe I could even put it next to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It-
Sorry.
So will you edit out that part?
This episode is sponsored by Helix Sleep. And if you want a good night's sleep, not just for you, but for about 500 purses, go to helixsleep.com/TYSO
for 20% off site-wide and 2 free dream pillows with a mattress purchase.
That's helixsleep.com/TYSO for 20% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase. helixsleep.com/TYSO. Ricky's on the loose, and if you want to come check me out in West Jordan, Utah, Denver, Colorado, or Boston, Massachusetts this month. Philadelphia, we're already sold out next month, but we'll also be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, those are the same, right? Milwaukee, and then Wisconsin. Listen, here, stay right there framing-wise, and take a look at this. Here are the dates. come on, check out our show. You want to get tickets? Go to punchup.live/Rick Glassman before they sell out, because they are selling out. I'll also be selling these as merch. They're $300 a piece.
Annie, I have to just read this as is. So to keep people engaged, could you just do a little dance or something? Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 per month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Man,
That turned into some dirty dancing over here. Sorry.
it's the most. Listen, I don't want to take anything away from whatever they're offering, but when you have to just read it,
I
they're
know,
the
but
most
how
boring.
will we ever sell this?
Don't you want me to
Nobody
make it my own?
I
Back to the
know.
episode. What'd you say?
Will you edit out all of that?
What?
Getting ready?
I don't know. Do you want me to?
I don't care.
I don't know. I might. Maybe we'll jump cut it.
Cool.
Yeah. So did you just fly in?
No.
How, you sure your arms are okay?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. If I had said yes, you would say, "Are your arms tired?" That's funny.
Yeah. It's kind of a classic that I've been really using a lot.
Working on a variation of, like one that works if they haven't flown in.
It always works.
True.
It'll always work, really. Like, here, say something to me.
Did you just fly in?
Yes.
Okay. Are your arms tired?
A little bit.
Do you want to ask me and then I say something?
Yeah. You said you drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Are your arms tired?
Okay. Okay, so you're saying, "Are your arms tired?" always works?
Yeah. Well, what did you think? Maybe I'm not taking your direction right. What were you meaning?
I thought you meant that the airplane joke works regardless of if someone's flown in or not.
Right. Or you're saying that it has to be, the question has to be about flying.
I don't know actually.
I stopped watching basketball
With the mobbed up ref.
coincidentally when LeBron left. I'm from Cleveland. Boy, my arm's tired. And
How did you make that work? That was actually funny.
Did you just grab your water because you thought I was going to steal it?
No, because I wanted to take a drink.
That's kind of like when if like there's a woman walking down the street and there's a guy that looks a little suspicious and she walks by and he walks by her and then she clutches her purse and then the guy goes, "Did you think I was going to steal your purse?" And then she goes, No, I was just getting my phone out.
Okay, yeah.
And he would say, "And boy, are my arms tired," and they would laugh. That's like, it's just a way to break the ice.
Okay. What do you recommend? How do you what should I do? Just react or
That's actually an interesting way of looking at it. Like, what am I supposed to do? React to you?
or just talk? I guess I'll just talk.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe because you don't have a podcast.
No.
And I do. And I do it all the time. So I was thinking maybe you might want to try to see what it would be like if you had a podcast.
Okay.
And I could be your guest.
Okay.
Do you want to try it?
Yes. Well, my idea for a podcast is to order a pizza and then talk to the person while we wait. And then when the pizza gets here, we try to do something to make that person, the delivery driver, happy, and then talk while we eat. But we can just pretend that part. But that was the only podcast idea I've ever
You
had.
pretend what part?
We could pretend the pizza aspect. We don't have to do that since it's not. Yeah. So, okay. So, welcome to the Pizza Party Podcast.
Here we go!
My guest today is Rick Glassman. Thanks for being here.
Oh, you're saying you and I could pretend to order the pizza.
Yeah.
But the show is actually ordering the pizza.
Well, I haven't done it, but that was the only idea I've ever had.
I get that. Yeah. I actually had on my 100th episode. It wasn't supposed to be, but the Uber driver came.
Cool.
And climbed up my balcony because we didn't hear him knocking. It was during COVID, and scared my guest away. And I ended up interviewing the Postmates driver for the whole episode.
Do you wanna build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies. That's a different chord. And now we're not. Yep. I wish you could tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Okay, bye.
That was good.
Oh my god! That scared the
What? Who is it?
Wait, whoa, hold on. Why are you coming up through the...
I tried for door, you do not answer.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. You could have texted.
I know you play for your piano, and I not play for that.
Oh my god.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you.
No, you know what, Ricky? I'm so sorry. It's so hot out here, and that's is weirding me out, and I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
I may not make mistakes.
Buddy, man, what are you doing?
But it's the door. I'm sorry, Ricky. I feel
I don't have my mask on.
Okay, hold on. Now I have my.
Why you have the light like this?
Buddy, you got to get out of here. Okay? I'm sorry, Kristen.
No,
Is it
it's okay.
someone's birthday?
Your fault. You can leave the food, and then you can't make him climb back down. You have to obviously let him out the door. I can't. This week is today Tuesday.
I leave. You want me to leave?
Oh my god. Sorry.
Hey, hold on. Stay a second, man.
Can you do the first week of August?
August? Yeah, that's fine. Hey, buddy, stay for a second. I'm gonna see if I can interview him. I have everything set up.
I have 2 delivery after you.
Are you serious?
I can't just be here for
all right,
what you want
thank
to
you for
say.
coming over.
Sorry. Bye.
All right, sorry, Kristen.
You was
Do you know
her
where you're
birthday?
going?
I'll figure it out.
It was her birthday?
Yeah, it was her birthday.
I'm sorry.
Here, have a seat, man. What's your name?
Huh?
What? Oh, you can't hear me. What's your name?
Sikrus.
Sikrut?
Patiti.
Have you seen Frozen?
Yes?
And we're back. Okay. So
And then when you do it, are you going to chew the pizza while you're having the conversation?
maybe it would just end once the pizza's there.
Let's try it, though.
So, welcome to the Pizza Party Podcast. My guest today is Rick Glassman.
What's up?
You might know him from doing stand-up comedy or from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast.
Yeah.
And so today,
Or other things.
we're going to talk about just whatever makes you happy. But first, what's your favorite kind of pizza?
I don't eat cheese.
Oh, okay. We'll get a dairy-free one. And then we'll cut that out.
Why?
Boring.
You saying cut the ordering out is boring, or
Yeah.
it's boring because I say no cheese?
I think that it would be boring. So if I ever made a podcast like that, I would cut that out.
Oh, I love ordering. I think ordering food is really fun.
Well,
Like,
maybe
I think
people would
it's-
enjoy that. Leave a comment if y'all want to see that in future episodes.
Tell us if you like content like this.
This is my podcast, so I should be the one doing that.
Do it again.
Take a look at this content.
Thank you for your patience in advance. I have a few questions and some modifications ahead of us. Okay, first of all, and easiest, I'd like to do one of your Belgian waffles with some extra syrup, please. Would I like to add a fruit cup? No, what am I? Of course, give me the fruit cup, baby! The berries are what? We're looking blueberries, raspberries, and the fruit cup is apples or something? This is a silly question, and I can't imagine you know the answer to it. But are your eggs organic? What does that mean? What do you mean that I want it natural? You got natural and non? What's a non-natural egg? Don't call the chef. We've called the chef enough this trip. Here's what I want to do. Do you guys do hard-boiled eggs? Are they cold? Yeah, put it in ice water. If they were organic, I'd have them warm. I'm curious what the hash browns are like. Are they buttery? Okay, I'll take some extra crispy. No. I don't know if you guys put sour cream or Schwitz on it, but just as is. What non-dairy alternatives do you have for milk for my coffee? You don't have almond milk? Oh, I need a whole pot. You have to do a whole pot of coffee. Is that really? Sonia, just so you know, I'm gonna probably have about one bite of this, and that's it. But The options are getting me hard right now.
Sorry.
For what?
I don't know. Go ahead.
It's your podcast.
Okay. So tell me about your day.
I had an audition today.
Cool. What for?
It was it's a show called The Neighborhood.
Awesome.
With Cedric the Entertainer and
Let's
Max
take a look.
Greenfield.
At the trailer?
Are you able to show it? Do you have the rights to it or something?
Oh, let's take a look at the poster.
Okay.
And Max Greenfield and Cedric the Entertainer?
Yeah.
Do you like, are they both stand-up comedians?
Cedric is. Max is not. And you know,
But Max is a comedian.
He's a comedic actor.
Okay.
There's and Cedric the Entertainer started as a stand-up comedian.
Cool.
Sometimes I forget which one, Max or Cedric, is a comedian, but then I remember just think of their last name.
Entertainer. Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of jokes does Cedric tell versus the type of jokes you tell? And then tell us about how you started doing stand-up.
Cedric, have you seen Kings of Comedy?
No.
The Kings of Comedy. It's with Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac, D.L. Hughley, and Steve Harvey.
So here's some clips of that, or if that's royalty, here's some pictures of them.
Well, it is royalty. I mean, they're literally the Kings of Comedy.
Royalty free or whatever.
Oh,
If it's not royalty free.
Right, no, the Kings. So, but
that's funny. Sorry.
But Cedric the Entertainer does jokes where he's pulling out cigarettes. He does these act outs where he pulls cigarette. Could we show this but not show the audio, like a picture in picture?
Yeah. Unless it's going on TikTok, because you can't show cigarette content.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you post it. You could try it. I don't know. But he takes cigarettes out of his he works fixing cars, and he goes, and then he does act outs where the cigarette is hanging from his lip the whole time. You ever notice how? It's real. It's like.
Can you explain that again? Is that okay if I ask that?
Yeah, it's like not something that I would do, not only because I don't like, I can't be funny that way. He's so funny with it.
He's like a good physical comedian.
Yeah.
And does act outs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you don't do act outs?
I do, but I don't do like that kind of stuff. I do act outs that are more like me or situations I found myself in or that I could relate to. He's playing this character that is this guy that's fixing cars and smoking cigarettes and stuff.
That sounds funny. So he'll do like a character that's like a mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You've never seen it, huh?
No. I've definitely seen him, but I've never seen his comedy.
It's really good. That was one of those stand-up, it was like a stand-up special that was a movie. Like, I saw it in the theaters.
Cool.
Yeah. And do you know Bernie Mac stuff?
That show.
The Bernie Mac show, but you don't know stand-up. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And he passed away. Okay. And I saw Mr. 3000. Is that his movie?
Oh, was that where he hit baseball and he hits 3,000 hits or something?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Yeah. But man, his stand-up was so funny. And then you asked me something else. You wanted to say how it was different from mine?
Yes. Well, I think you said that though, that you don't do like the act outs based off like
mechanics.
Yeah, but how did you start in comedy?
This is your podcast, but maybe bring us a little closer. I just feel like
I like to have it out here. Just kidding.
Oh, you could. I don't know who's mixing your stuff. So what was your question?
How did you start in comedy? And sorry, we don't have to keep pretending it's my podcast unless you want to.
I do kind of like it.
Okay. Well then, yeah, how did you start in comedy?
Well, if you don't mind, it's your podcast, but would you tell me how you started in comedy?
Stand-up?
First, just because I just answered a question, maybe we could switch off for the beginning.
Stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
I started last year.
How are your arms?
I started doing I used to do TikToks where I would talk about being in Project X and 21 Jump Street because those were the movies I was in.
I just rewatched 21 Jump Street and I didn't remember that because I saw it before I knew you.
How are your arms? So did you like it?
Yeah,
cool.
I intentionally chose it to show my dad had seen it, my mom hadn't.
Oh, okay.
And I intentionally showed them because like this is a great movie I haven't seen in a while.
Cool.
I'm like, oh, there's Dax Flame.
Cool. Nice. Did she like it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I used to just talk about that a lot on TikTok, and like
How so?
the only time that videos would do well for me on TikTok was if I would be like, hey, I'm Dax Flame from Project X in 21 Jump Street. Or like when I was in 21 Jump Street, this happened.
Now, did you always talk about it, or could you do a video that's unrelated to that, but you would say it kind of like that was your intro?
Both.
Geez, your arms must have been exhausted. You just had to keep doing that?
Yeah. So then I said last year around this time or February, I was like, I'm not going to talk about those movies anymore. That way I could think of other things to do instead. Like I don't want to just be known for that forever. So then I started to make other miscellaneous content, such as going to Target and talking to strangers and like doing things to brighten their day. And then an offshoot of that was telling people, trying to make people smile and laugh. Then that led to me being like, oh, I like to do that. So then I was like, maybe I could do this on stage as well, because that's always been a desire anyways.
When you were doing those things in Target, et cetera, and you were putting a smile on people's faces, and your intention was that, and was it to do so through comedy?
Both. Sometimes it would be giving away money, or sometimes it would be comedy.
But don't you think that, or do, I don't mean to be so leading, it's your podcast. Do you think that the money that you were giving away and the way you were giving it away and do give it away does have a comedic element to it as well, though?
Maybe some of them, and then some of them were more game show style. Like you have 5 seconds to pick anything in this aisle.
Right.
Like that'd be more like
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Cedric.
Yeah.
He does it. I mean, the same thing. It's like sometimes, even with stand-up, I sometimes think, obviously we want to be funny, but I don't think that being funny is the number one.
Yeah, it's more just about the people in the audience want to have a good time. And so if you can do that through being funny or sharing some personal story, either one is okay, I guess.
You know, pardon me for zooming in a lot on this, but I have a different take on that. And I would actually love to have a conversation with you about that part of it, because I think that you and I, in different ways, go up on stage with intentions that aren't necessarily just about the jokes.
Well, I'm really new to it, so I don't really know exactly what my specialty is, but how long have you done it?
Since 2007.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
But I wasn't noticing necessarily your specialty. I was just talking about your intention, and those things, I think, new or veteran and everywhere in between, I think it changes. I think people's intentions could change set to set, but on an average over a period of time, I think people go into these things with different intentions. Without even defining those, does that even make sense to you?
Yes.
And I'm curious about if you're in touch with what your intentions are, because it does seem like, from what you said, at least in part, it is to start with this new art form.
Well, I wrote down a thing sometimes I read before I don't know if I have it in the phone notes. It's on my laptop. Let's see.
Is this to give you confidence?
Yes.
I do this.
What?
I do this too.
It's something like the goal of stand-up is to do this. And then I just read that if I'm going to do something. Do I have it on here? I don't think so. Maybe I have. Let's see. Oh, okay. To connect with your audience through humor and by sharing relatable, clever observations, focus on, well, I mean, I got part of it from ChatGPT. So I just was like, what's the goal and stuff? And this is kind of what it gave me. I don't know if I changed any of it. Aim to be authentic, engage with the audience reactions, and enjoy your process. Your energy will set the tone for the entire experience.
Could you tell me, out of that, keep it open for a sec, out of that, and you could take a moment to read it again to yourself.
Have fun. And then I wrote my own things.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear, what is your version of that? What part of those are you like, yep.
I wrote slow down, because sometimes when I've done it and then I watch it, I go too fast. Mm-hmm. And then it's the ChatGPT stuff. So the goal is to connect with your audience. So that's a good reminder for me so that I know what the goal is. And then trying to make them laugh. Then create a strong rapport with the crowd. Deliver it with confidence and being in the moment.
Mm-hmm. What does being in the moment mean to you?
I don't know.
Well, why do you say it to yourself?
That's just what ChatGPT wrote to me.
Pardon me for challenging you right now, but I'd love for you to think about it and think about like, what does being in the moment mean to you? Because
on stage,
Yeah.
it means to not rush.
so being in the moment is similar to slowing down.
Yeah.
I think of being in the moment and synonymously being present as not being in my head and just being here, and whatever is.
So do you talk a lot about stand-up on here? Like, does your audience, is there a lot of the stand-up crowd?
I have episodes where I talk a lot about stand-up. I have episodes where I don't talk about stand-up at all.
Cool.
And then, if it's fair to say, sometimes in the middle.
Okay. Why'd you take your headphones off?
Well, I only put them on to check our levels.
Cool.
And when the guest is not wearing them, I typically don't.
Cool.
Yeah. Similar vibe. Kind of like when people are like when you have a coffee, which I don't even drink coffee anymore, or haven't for over a year. But like, it's nice to when somebody else is drinking a coffee too.
Okay. Let's take a look at Rick's favorite stand-up clip of his.
Oh, something just came into my mind that has nothing to do with this, but I want to tell you. I'm at a hotel today. I'm doing my thing. And then there's a 4% service charge. And I asked the manager, I said, I want you to know that I'm not here to complain. There's no subtext to this. I'm genuinely curious why I'm paying 4%. What is this for? And he said, you're paying for things for the employees like their outfits. And I said, why am I paying for their outfits? And I'm really, I just don't get it. And he goes, yeah, man, I don't know. And I go, you're charging me. And a waiter was coming by, and I said, fantastic aprons. And he laughed, And I said to the guy walking by who didn't know the joke, I go, they're on me. And I felt like, you know what? That was a fun I grew, I think, I tried something, and I felt like I walked away from that feeling like, I'm the fucking man. You know? That's not necessarily my favorite stand-up clip, but I just started my first official tour, Ricky's on the Loose. If you want to come check out a show, you could go to, here are my dates. But that was just a clip from one of my recent shows.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thanks.
So
I want to talk more about intention and going on stage.
Yeah.
Another thing that ChatGPT suggested to you was to connect with the crowd.
Yes.
Does that sound important to you?
Yeah, definitely trying to gauge what they're responding to. And typically I print out my jokes. I don't usually memorize them. I have a few memorized, but typically I like to try a lot of new things every time. So I'll print them out, and then, well, I actually have some. These weren't mine. Those
are somebody else's notes?
I wrote jokes for my friend. So like, but it's like the same. I folded it the same way for her. So then like hold it like that. So it's like not too distracting, but then I can like look between things. And then, wait, oh,
we were talking about connecting with the audience.
Oh, okay. So yeah, typically I haven't memorized them, but then I try to gauge how they're feeling. And if they're not really connecting to something or like liking a joke too much, I try to get to the next one quickly.
So you slow down when they're liking it and you speed up when they're not.
I think so. But I think the reason I mentioned that is since I write them all out, I guess I don't really change that much. The only thing I ever change is sometimes I try crowd work.
You don't ever change the delivery on what you're reading?
No, not in the moment.
Do you ever feel like because you fold your jokes the same way as you fold your friends that you might go into the pocket, and because you can't tell the difference of the fold, you might pull out the wrong jokes?
No, I've never done that before. That was just today.
Careful.
What?
Consider folding your friends' jokes a different way.
True. Okay. Your arms must be tired from doing this podcast.
I try not to laugh at that every time. It just works.
Leave a comment if you like that.
Yeah. And also, I find that to get engagement on YouTube, now we're only getting comments from the people who liked it. and we're leaving out the people who didn't. And as much as I want people to like it, leave a comment if you don't like it too.
True.
And maybe say why.
Maybe leave 5 comments of your 5 favorite moments of this episode.
You have to be
So
careful.
far.
You're asking too much.
That's okay.
All right. Leave your 5 favorite moments.
And don't do that if you don't want to. It's totally okay.
You said that if their audience is connecting with it and liking it, you'll keep going. And if not, you'll speed up. How could you tell if they're liking it?
If no one's laughing or not, when I think they're going to laugh.
It's binary. Laughing, they like it. Not laughing, they don't like it.
Yeah.
That's back to where I feel the number one job of us as performers, even as comedians, isn't to be funny. I think it's important. You need to be funny, but I don't think that's number one. There's a lot of times when you say stuff that is really interesting or engaging or necessary to create tension or dissolve it that isn't funny on its own, in which case they're not going to be laughing. Where I struggle is if they're laughing, I don't know if it's funny enough. And if they're not laughing, I don't know if it's because they don't need to be laughing there. I have a hard time knowing when the audience is connected or not. So what I have started relying on was when I feel present and connected or not. And I don't know if that's the right approach. And I maybe have assumed wrongly, but when I watch you, I feel I've assumed that you are similar in that way, where you're up there and you're doing your thing. And if they aren't laughing, it might be because they haven't figured you out yet. But it doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't the right. It's like going up a roller coaster, and so you could go down it. Does that connect with you at all? Or you just don't like it? When they're not laughing, you don't like it and you speed up?
I think I just don't like it. I think, but I mean, I don't mind because I'm new to it relatively. Now it's been maybe close to a year that I've done it.
February will be a year.
Well, since I started doing TikToks consistently, I think I did my first stand-up set in maybe it would have been April or something. So maybe like 8 months.
Okay.
So I can't remember what I was saying, but yeah, maybe I don't like it, but I also don't mind it because I know I'm new to it. So it's okay. I expect that some of them will not get laughs.
You have a very specific way of communicating and feel and vibe. I don't want to, nor is it my place to diagnose anything of yours, but are there any obstacles that you had as a kid that you have overcome and or that are still obstacles for you socializing with other people?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you comfortable talking about this part of it?
Sure.
Because I really like talking about how different people with different perspectives, and which are one category, and then people how they communicate and how they receive other people is another hand. And sometimes like those two molecules connect to make certain like elements. And I'm just curious about yours.
I think that I'm a lot better at understanding people in general and stuff. I think that from 18 or 20 or something, I don't know, for a couple of years, I would just stay in hostels a lot because I was traveling a lot. And so I think that
Traveling around the what?
everywhere,
For what?
fun, I guess.
You
I just
made a
saved
little
up
money and then you just wanted to travel?
After I did those movies, I just traveled a lot and stayed in hostels. And I feel like I just kind of learned how to strike up conversations a lot easier because you're just always around a lot of people. And I enjoyed that. And I think that doing comedy in the past year, I've been, or actually that might be switching. Yeah. That might be switching gears. I just had a thought about that though.
Switch gears.
That has been fun because I think previously the content I've made has been a lot more documentary style or game show, that various types of entertaining. And it's been fun to try to explore just trying, like, whether it's physical comedy, stand-up comedy, sketch type stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of your TikToks, and and short form material would fall into the category of sketch, even the game show stuff.
Okay.
It's like these are, you set up a game, you play that game, you play a version of yourself, and you involve people who are relatively unsuspecting. Versus you on stage by yourself, performing to an audience of people. But I'm also curious about like you, you the funny person and the performer, and you the person that's not necessarily doing it for a sketch or for an audience. Now, granted, we have cameras on us now, but at least the way I feel, I'm still having an intimate conversation with you. And I'm curious and interested to know how you feel you are received by other people, and if you think that you have a good gauge on how people receive you.
I think so. I think that people find me to be nice and fun to talk to, and I think that I'm very understanding. Like that's what I like to try to be. Yeah, just try to be easy.
But that's you of other people. I'm asking other people of you.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Or I think they feel very understood by me. So like people will sometimes if I just meet a stranger, they'll tell me like very deep secrets.
Right.
Yeah. Or previously, I guess these days I hang out in my apartment a lot, and but I used to just talk to strangers a lot
To get their secrets.
Yeah.
Hostels and their secrets.
What?
Hostels and their secrets?
Yeah.
You were staying in hostels and getting their secrets.
Yeah.
How would you say that other people would describe your comedy? Feel free to pass over that question. I don't know how I would answer that.
Well, definitely. Maybe it's easier for other people to say, leave a comment what you think.
Maybe 5?
Leave 5 comments again.
And
about 5 observations of the room and surroundings, and just like, yeah.
So including you, but also me or us. You're saying just 5 observations?
Leave 5 comments each 10 minutes that passes.
I think people will stop doing it. I think
maybe they'll try. Some of them will do it.
Yeah.
And then say.
But if you're not going to do 5, is it okay if they do 1?
Yeah. Or 0 is fine also.
Okay.
Whatever they're comfortable with. But maybe number each comment. At the bottom of the comment, say this was number 7 for me or whatever.
What's your favorite joke right now?
That I tell?
No.
I don't really know other jokes.
Well, don't you know your friends?
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear one of those. And what'd you write them for? Does she do stand-up?
She's kind of new to stand-up, and she does a lot of really funny TikToks. Her name is Mitzi.
Shout out to Mitzi. We'll put her Instagram handle up here.
Here's a clip of her.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Can I get a soft serve?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and that comes with like a cake cone. Oh.
Hey, our soft serve machine is actually down right now, and it's her first day, and we did not train her to do that.
She's new to stand up. So she's very experienced with like impressions and comedy and stuff, but just not stand up. But
Can I hear an impression of her? Doing an impression from you?
If she's doing an impression of me, it would sound like this.
No, I'm saying what impressions does she do?
Oh, little AJ.
Who's little AJ?
Boom, that guy, the Costco kid.
Does she do Trump?
No.
If she did,
but the guy at the mic today did.
Do you have Trump?
No.
Could you try?
You fired. Can you?
I'm really bad at impressions. You're fired. I can't do them.
Can you try more?
You're fired. It's the best firing you've ever had. Everyone's talking about the firing. They think, oh my God, this fire was fantastic. I can't. I know how bad it is.
Can you say? What else does he say? That's like the go-to.
He goes. The lines. The audience. There was the people at the. There was so many people there. There was more people than you've ever seen. More people than ever been. Yeah, I can't do it.
What about? Do you do anyone?
I could do.
I did a Mark Zuckerberg one yesterday.
Let me hear.
Well, I posted. It wasn't very good, but people just comment that I remind them of him sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, that would be just like a funny thing to do, of like embrace that rather than being like, I don't like that.
Sure. Let me hear.
Have you signed up for Meta? All the Meta apps? Do you use Facebook? I don't really have an actual impression. I just dressed up like him.
Right. And did you dress up in like him now, or dress up like him before he was
like a gold
cool?
chain and baggy shirt?
Yeah.
Like now.
And you had your hair. Did you curl your hair a little?
I tried, but I couldn't. I didn't succeed.
Did you masturbate before?
No.
He usually masturbates before if he does public things.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His arms must be tired.
His arm is. We'll be right back.
This episode is sponsored by Helix Sleep. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rick, why are there so many purses everywhere? And the answer is, I don't know, Dad.
Mom collects purses. By the way, Rick, this is one of my favorite commercials to do because it's a product that I use daily. Helix Sleep is the best mattress for your sleep.
We use Helix. My aunt uses Helix. My uncle uses Helix. My brother uses Helix.
You might say we're a Helix family.
Oh, yeah, we're a Helix family. And here's the thing. Let's say you get the mattress and you don't like it, which would never happen. But hypothetically. How many days do you think you have before you return it?
Well, most mattresses, I think it's 30 days. But with Helix, I got a feeling you're going to surprise me.
90 days.
90 days. That's
I'm just
3
kidding.
months.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
100 days.
100 days. 100 days.
You could go to helixsleep.com/TYSO.
And you get 20% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with a mattress purchase.
Go to helixsleep.com/TYSO to save 20% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase. helixsleep.com/TYSO.
So we can't really make this our own.
Why?
Because you got to read it word for word for legal
I don't like
purposes.
that. I'm a bad reader too. I sound like a robot.
Well, let me just do it. So could you just
fine.
entertain the people?
Okay, fine.
With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 per month for 1 year. From first match, you must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by robinhood.com/LLC. Good book, by the way.
It's amazing. There's pictures in it. I love books with pictures.
This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SHOESOFF. That's code SHOESOFF for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, I'll take it from here. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPENY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please, play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. It's void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
And we're back. That was one hell of a product. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I find that it really helps out, even if you aren't interested in that product, if you go to the website, and it'll help me out. Because then they could track how many people click on the website.
If you're comfortable doing that.
Oh, if you're not yeah.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
Okay, should I tell you these jokes? Well, the premise was pretty much that
I want to make sure that the camera's going. Do you see a red square around the...
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
The premise was that a couple times I've thought of jokes that would be better from a woman's perspective, and I don't have an outlet for that. Because I was like, there's one about like getting a period, and so my intro to it was like my ex used to get her period a lot, and that didn't really make sense or work. And so then I was like,
did your ex get her period a lot?
No,
That's probably
they're
why it
whatever
didn't
normal.
Once a month?
I guess. Yeah.
You have to know. What do you mean?
I didn't
guess?
ask. I don't remember.
How long
I
were you
dated her
dating?
like 8 years ago or something.
How old are you?
33.
Years.
Old. Yeah.
So you broke up when you were 25?
Yeah.
And when did you start dating?
24.
So for about a year, she probably had about 12 periods.
Yeah, true.
Or 4 ellipses.
Okay, that's funny. That's
Thank
funny.
you.
Should I do this?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Why not?
I don't.
You don't have to. Do you want to come back? Maybe we could.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it another time.
Or I'll just do it since I introduced it. Let's see. So I was saying that basically because a couple of them are specific to being a woman. And then a few of them are ones that I've done that didn't really go well. And I was just curious if they would work in someone else's voice with someone else's delivery.
Right.
So maybe we could come back to it, or should we do it?
Well, I want to ask you if you feel comfortable with me right now and safe here.
Yes.
What is your hesitation to doing it? Is it based off of you not wanting to but feel like you must?
No, I just...
you got in your head a little?
Yeah, but I'll just do it. Okay.
But
So
before you do, and pardon me to the audience that might get annoyed from this, but I like to ask the questions that I'm curious about. And I am curious, could you kind of explain what it is that when you're getting in your head in this moment, no judgment, what is that feeling?
maybe I don't want to like, I don't know what people typically would do on the podcast. So then I'm like, maybe I don't want to like steer it in a different direction than you would like.
Got it. So on this podcast, sometimes it's, we talk about stand-up, sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's very goofy, sometimes it's very serious. The through line of that often is driven by both the guests want what they want to talk about and my curiosity to things.
Okay.
I tend to over communicate with that. So if you're new to this podcast, this is what it's always like. But I'd like to offer a perspective to you that you could take, ignore, but maybe it's worth at least considering.
The pizza's here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had a good time with you.
Okay, just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I know. I didn't really think we were going to be done, but I was thinking maybe we could have AI make a video of us getting the pizza in a quick montage and eating it and then coming and sitting back down.
Cool.
Okay. Well, we're going to go eat that pizza. We'll be right back.
Here we go!
And
Welcome
we're back.
And this was going to be an interesting thing Rick was about to say.
Thank you. So earlier we were talking about stand-up and our intentions, and yours, or at least ChatGPT's that you've adopted, was connect with the audience and make sure that they like what you're doing, and then keep doing that. I'm not saying that what I'm about to say is right. I do think it's at least a tool to consider, which is doing what you want to be doing, and the audience that likes that will start to be attracted to it.
True.
And
okay.
I do find that the best version we could be, and not just as entertainers, but as people, is the one that's truest to who we are. And I know that could sound really corny, and I hope you're not zoning out by this.
No.
But because I say that, I'm projecting because it's like could be a corny thing, but like, I mean it quite literally. Obviously, if you just do what you want and what you want involves taking from other people, whether it's stealing from them like literally, or stepping on their timing or not offering them the option for them to shine. Not that. But I'm saying as a performer, at least, do your thing. And you're going to do your thing better than somebody else in their voice, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start doing more podcasts, or you're ever on stage and you like what you're talking about, but it seems like the audience might not be on board, use your instincts. You could abandon ship. But I think that you're very, very interesting. And I think that you should consider doing what you want without worrying about, for example, what my other guests do.
Okay, true. Yeah. I like to try to, on stage, be entertaining to the people watching. And so it could be hard for me to fully embrace that advice in terms of like, a couple times I've been like, well, here's this thing. And I talk for 2 minutes about dating. And then at the end, like watching it, I'm like, oh, there wasn't really a joke there.
Well, do you write? Seems like you do.
Yeah, I was reading all of it off my joke.
So there was a joke there. You just don't think it was funny enough for the audience.
I just didn't have a punchline in there.
So you don't have a punchline.
It was like, I probably have it in my phone.
Good. Did you think you had a punchline before you read it, or did you know you didn't and you did it anyway?
Sometimes I think that I thought so or something. I don't know. I write really fast sometimes leading up to my set. So I might just have been like, oh, I got to fill up. I have to do 10 minutes. I have to write stuff.
Well, that's another example of you doing something that you have to do instead of something that you want to do.
Well, I want to fill up the time, so that, because sometimes it's hard to fill up 10 minutes of.
I went to school with a fill up 10 minutes. Mr. and Mrs. 10 Minutes Kid. Do you know him?
No. I was gonna say that must have made your arms tired, but I was like, I don't want to say it too much.
Yeah, that is the balance.
Should I say it every time? Because I've thought of it like 3 or 4 other times when I didn't say it.
We've already done it a lot.
Okay,
but you can
leave a comment if you wish that we had done it more.
What did you think about that ellipses joke? Felt pretty good about that one.
That was really funny.
Thanks.
Maybe I could come back to this and I'll do these ones. Okay, or maybe you could do them since I wrote them for someone else to do.
Well, I would love to hear you.
Okay, so hey everyone, I hope you're doing awesome. My boyfriend is kind of like Bigfoot. He doesn't exist. And actually that's one I tell all the time. My girlfriend is kind of like Bigfoot. She doesn't exist. And so I started her off with one that I know that people at least kind of laugh at each time. That way to get her comfortable reading my jokes.
Yep.
Then the next one is, I love being a woman, but one thing I don't like about it is getting my period. It's so annoying every time. Who came up with the name period anyway? To me, it feels, see, I'm rushing. So to me, it feels more like an exclamation point.
Dude, you've never seen it. I'm not saying that. I used to do that joke.
Oh, okay.
Take it, give it, do it. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell her not to do it.
It's fine.
But she didn't get laughs anyways when she did it.
Me neither.
Okay.
Or should I say, me neither? But I've seen you on stage doing some things. I'm saying this in the nice way. Like I used to, or sometimes do some stuff that is very similar.
When I went on Bad Friends, I told they were like, they had me tell a couple jokes of mine, and one of them afterwards they're like, oh, someone else has told that joke before, and I didn't realize. But it was about when you go through a drive-through and you say,
you come all over the menu.
That's funny.
Like it's a Mark Zuckerberg
funny
joke.
Improv. Whenever they say enjoy it, like I think that's a common joke, but I just was like, I'll do that on stage. Like enjoy your meal, and you say you too, but they're not eating. Like whenever someone says do this thing that's specific, but then they were like,
I think Brian Regan.
I think that's who they said.
Brian Regan was happy birthday, you too.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then so I didn't mean to steal this joke from you.
Oh no.
So, you weren't saying that.
You didn't steal it from me.
He wasn't saying that.
Yeah, you didn't steal it from me because I haven't done that in a bit. But yeah, but in a way like.
And then it says, or a question mark could be better because I never know how it's going to make me feel. So whenever I told that from my perspective is like my ex used to get her period and then go into that. So then her next one, why are gas stations so funny? I don't know what it is, but there's something inherently hilarious about them. Sometimes just thinking about them makes me laugh. Why do men love cars so much?
Wait. Is the gas station one, was that it?
Yeah, kind of.
Or is that leading into cars?
Leading into cars, I guess. I don't know. I've told that and not gotten laughs.
So it seems like some of these are yours that you're giving her and some of them aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are you experimenting to find where your writing is funny and you want to do them, but you can't, so you give them to somebody else? Because it seems like you could do all of these so far.
Yeah. I guess like the ones that are like when I get my period or women's clothing designers. I just felt weird saying it feels, I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to try. Why do men love cars so much? Yeah, I could do this one. Cars do one job. They get you from point A to point B. So I'll skip that one. That's not that good. I don't understand horsepower. It seems like such an outdated measurement. If 200 horses pulled a car, it would still only go as fast as the slowest horse. I don't understand why people use that as a measurement. I was lifting weights at the gym the other day, and this guy came up to me and started giving me advice about my form. And so I just turned to him and said, I'm just here to work out, not audition for America's Next Top Mansplained.
I like that one.
Why do men always tell women to smile? The next guy that says that to me, I'm going to go full Joker mode. Well, by the way, why is it that women's pockets are so small? It's like fashion designers thought we'd only want them for looks. Meanwhile, men's pockets are so big they could smuggle snacks for an entire family into a theater.
Do women have small pockets? I believe you. I just never noticed that.
That's what I've heard. Leave a comment if that's not accurate.
But if it is, also, I want to know too. So leave a comment if it is.
Mm-hmm.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
I'll stop telling people to leave comments now. My boyfriend is like Bigfoot. He doesn't exist. I've been trying to get back into dating recently. Just don't tell my boyfriend. I did those out of order.
Wait. Do that from you. Do it from your point of view.
I tell that one too. I've been trying to get back into dating lately. Just don't tell my girlfriend.
Have you ever thought about doing that and then having somebody in the audience be your girlfriend and she'd be like, well, too fucking bad, you fuck, because I'm here right now.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm. And then you could go, sorry. And then that's it. Or you could do more, but I'm really big into theatrics.
Okay, yeah. I think you're really good with crowd work too. Let's take a look at a crowd work clip from Rick.
Sure. Where'd you get that jacket?
Amazon.
Yeah, I could tell. Like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I do these crowd work shows sometimes because people put crowd work shows on, and they tape them. And when I don't really want to post my material right now because I'm still working on it, so I feel comfortable posting crowd work stuff. So typically when I do crowd work stuff, I like to lean into that kind of energy because that's like kind of where I've been conditioned that's how people do it. People get pretty aggressive in their crowd work.
Yeah.
They say it how it is, and the only sorry they are that they're not sorry.
Yeah.
So that's that's not really how my stand-up is. My crowd work and my stand-up, I feel, are almost two different sports.
Okay. I saw one that I thought was really funny of
so what?
A
Somebody's
clip of
crowd
yours,
work?
A clip of yours that was wearing a hoodie with AirPods.
Yeah. Not AirPods. I intentionally would use them
headphones.
wired.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Headphones.
How you feeling? You good? Hell yeah. What are you up to? What'd you say? Let me call you in a bit. Yeah, let me call you back. I'm about to start my show. All right, bye.
That was really funny.
That's a bit I've been doing for 20 years, not like before stand-up, where if I ever have headphones in and I'm talking to somebody for a bit, because I always would have my headphones in.
Yeah.
And then like after we're talking for a little bit, I'm sorry, I was on the phone. What's up? And it's like, oh, so then I brought it to stage. I don't do it that much though, because some jokes, I used to write a new set every time. I felt like repeating material was lying. And I've gotten better at that because you have to develop an act. But there are still some jokes where I feel like I can only do them every now and then because it feels like if I keep doing it, that one's a lie. I can't really explain why.
Okay.
But that's one of them where like I love that joke and I want to do them all the time. But like I can't do it that much.
It's more fun to try new ones, at least, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. I love trying new stuff.
The only time I've done like a big full crowd was that one show you were at.
That was Greg's show, Horribly Funny.
No,
that was Bad Friends show.
Yeah.
which Greg's show, Horribly Funny, which is one of my favorite shows in LA.
Okay.
He often has Andrew and or Bobby on.
Cool.
And it's in the Comedy Store main room, and it almost always sells out. So it felt a similar vibe.
Okay.
But yeah, the Bad Friends show.
That was really cool.
That was fun.
And
you did great.
So I just did jokes that I've only done before there.
Right.
And that was still really fun. But usually I do it just at this open mic place. And so I usually try new jokes each time. And it doesn't seem like it would be that fun to do the same ones. But doing it for like a big full crowd like that was really fun.
Yeah, I find that there's a balance between new stuff and stuff you've been doing. And new stuff doesn't mean you've necessarily never done it before, but it's that feeling where this feels new. I don't know where I'm going with this yet. And that's where it's kind of like what you're talking about. You want to give the audience something. I do find like when people are buying tickets to see my show and or it's a great show and the comedians before did great, the comedians after will probably do well. I want to make sure that I get to do what I want to do, but I also don't want to bring the momentum to a place that is not good, though it could happen. But I love taking swings. But when you try new stuff at an open mic and when you try new stuff in front of a big crowd, they're not necessarily the same.
Okay.
So I would suggest allowing yourself to try some of you, because when you try new stuff in a smaller venue, even if you have stuff that's great at a smaller venue, especially an open mic where it's other comics not paying full attention, you might, if you're relying on the reaction that the audience gives you, it might deter you from doing something that otherwise would work very well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I've tried the same joke a couple times at the same open mic and then it's gotten a different reaction. So yeah, that's a good point. I think that's like proof that of that. Yeah.
When I first started out, I used to want to try my set in front of somebody, like a friend. I would sometimes call, I would be standing, before I moved out of Ohio, I would be at the Funny Stop in the parking lot in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, you're from Ohio? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And boy, are my arms tired.
I do have a question about that I could ask later.
I'll remember what I was saying.
So I saw a TikTok of you playing basketball with LeBron James, and that makes sense because y'all are both from Ohio.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you from Texas?
Yes.
I could tell.
How?
I didn't know. Are you Native American?
No.
Huh.
Oh, did I say y'all?
You said y'all was Texas, and you said how, which I thought was maybe Native American.
That's funny. That's funny.
Thank you. Or should I say, thank you?
I don't get that.
Ellipses. I was calling back the...
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that in, but I don't think that was funny, what I just did there, Sarah. Do you ever do something on stage that you think is really funny, but the audience doesn't think it's funny? And you think that, well...
I don't think so.
Never. The audience always knows?
More like, I don't know.
Right.
Yet. Or...
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any jokes where I'm like, that's awesome. I just have jokes where I'm like, okay, that one will sometimes get a consistent laugh.
Do you think what works is your joke, or is it the way you told the joke?
I think both are helpful. Like the way you... I've tried to work on like everything from like sometimes being like, oh, I really like the content of this joke. And then like this time I'm trying to write a joke where you have to act it out. Because it's like, okay, I see people do jokes that require more
like Cedric the Entertainer.
I guess so. Yeah.
Want to cut to it again?
Yeah.
Or you just keep talking. We'll just put the picture in picture
This
up.
isn't specifically my inspiration because I've never seen him, but he's an example of someone who does that well. Here's that clip of him? Or here's a picture of him.
So I was in Ohio when I was doing stand-up, and I would call people and do my whole set to ask if they thought it was funny. And best case scenario, they'd be like, yeah, but they're not going to respond the way an audience would.
Okay, yeah.
So when you test stuff out in all different places, but never make your mind up until you've tested it out at least once and see how you felt in front of a real crowd.
Okay, yeah. As in like an open mic crowd?
No.
Not an
As
open
in
mic
a crowd of people that bought tickets to see comedy.
Okay, I've only done it that one time.
That's the only time you've ever done it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just do the open mic.
Yeah, you did great.
Thank you.
And it seems that you, I say seems, based on the way you've been answering my questions, it seems as though you don't know why people think you're funny.
Yeah, I think people also relate to someone who's new to something.
Yes, but there's something else about you that is quirky, that is atypical
and awkward.
It's semantics.
I think you don't have to say that, but that's like a common comment, of course.
Sure, it's awkward because awkward to me is more so a feeling that the person has than the thing the person is giving.
Yeah.
People who have said I'm awkward a lot, and I go, yeah, I believe you felt that way, but that wasn't my intention, and that's not how I'm feeling.
And sometimes sometimes situations are just awkward no matter who's doing it. Like anyone who, I don't know, some people are really charismatic and good at like diffusing the awkwardness of something.
Like when people are yelling at each other and you go, and guys, and then you fart.
Yeah, or I don't know.
Trust me.
Okay.
Farting always works. Does anyone want to see me sit on the ground and fart? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe I shouldn't sit on the ground and fart.
Yeah! I've seen Lisa Gilroy.
Yeah, are you doing a period joke again and you turn it into a question mark?
No.
Okay.
Wait, is that her name though?
Lisa Gilroy.
And she comes on your podcast?
Yes.
And I just don't know if I have the right name, but
Lisa Gilroy.
And she's done it a few times?
4.
She's really
5.
funny. And those I was watching that and that was super funny.
She is
hysterical. So let's take a look at that. Some clips from that.
I think we've been swiping to a lot of things.
But that was really, I think people will be happy to watch that. Those were really good episodes.
Yeah, I know, but maybe we'll put up all the thumbnails.
Or you could play like 2 minutes of it. Just as
That's
like
a lot. 2 minutes. I was thinking we would swipe to something for 2 minutes. It makes me think if we would swipe to maybe the Halloween or the John Candy rap.
I think it would make me comfortable if I knew that it was going to play for 2 minutes now, because I'm like, sometimes I just get nervous and I'm like, well, I know people love that. So people are going to love the next 2 minutes and then I'll feel like no pressure.
I don't, is this my podcast now or yours?
Since it's mine, we're going to play 2 minutes of that right now.
I don't know, man.
Well, whenever you have me on yours, we can do what you want.
Candy, so dandy, yeah, I called him my daddy. I just knew that I wanted to do comedy like my man. He's so good, he's the man. He goes, Toronto, where I stand. I live there, I was born there, I was raised there. He was my idol.
You a chicken haircut? Sight, big pancake, Uncle Buck, here's 25 cents. Take this rat to pull that mole off your face. Track.
Trains, automobiles, trains and planes, planes and automobiles, trains and planes, planes, automobiles, trains and planes.
That's
candy,
not what I see.
candy.
I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take no crap from. That's cool running John Candy, cool buddy Candy. Hold it up, Sandy. He turns around with a Jamaica.
Second City, comedy, improv, wannabe, gotta be. Like can candy. I don't know any of his other movies, so I can't flow. I really only know the trains, planes, ones, and something about Home Alone. He's in that. Ooh, he is in the back of the band. He is singing. I play poker.
I like
with
it.
my friends.
You could be our babysitter.
What?
That was awesome. Leave a comment if you like that.
Yeah. So with what I saw you do on that Bad Friends show, that I think people were laughing at, was I think that people are not sure how much of what you do and directly who you are is a character in an act.
Yeah.
And I think that knowing that, not necessarily even leaning into it, just knowing that might help your confidence in something that is what I like to think of like a way that to believe that the audience accepts you, because they are in part laughing because of your atypical, what you would refer to as awkward, what I would refer to as unusual, different. That in itself is engaging and it's interesting.
Okay, yeah.
So when you're doing your 2-minute joke about dating that doesn't have a punchline, you can't rely on your character. And when I say character, I don't mean that in a condescending term. I mean who you actually are. We are all characters, some broader than others, but you turn on your performance thing. It's real, it's who you are, but it's your stage presence, right? Does that make sense?
I think so.
I think that was a sneeze, but it couldn't have been a cough.
Well, it felt like I had to clear my throat and then it didn't really work. But I think so. I think, well, I don't see the connection of, I think whenever I talked about my love life on stage, I don't know if I was trying to, like, I've also done one where I talk about, well, I literally had my friend try it today, like that, so it's right here. But I did one where that's not really a joke. It's more of
put it here, down, and yeah.
Sorry if it didn't sound good.
No one will notice after Matt does his brilliant mix.
So, like, there's one that's like more just inciting thought. Mm-hmm. I guess I was just on stage, wanted to talk about dating. What was it? It was like something like, I've been single for a while and I always talk about how I wish I was in a relationship, but it's also good to be, and then you can tie this back into, I feel like I'm drifting from what you were asking, but do
you want me to ask it again?
Sure.
Well, it was more of an observation of people look at you while you're on stage and they see something, I believe, that is unique.
Okay.
And that kind of creates a subconscious expectation from people that is blank. Like when people go into a comedy show, whether they realize it or not, especially if they've gone to a few, it becomes an average of what they expect a stand-up show to be. They expect a stand-up show to be jokes, people being a type of person that they've seen before. And I think that you have a personality where there's probably a lot of people in the audience, there's a lot of people in the world who don't have a friend like you. And they haven't seen someone like you before.
Yeah.
So they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And that does build in some type of tension that when you show, like you say, you're the type of person people feel understood by, people feel comfortable and safe by. When there's this bit of tension of I don't know what to expect, and then you give them something where they feel safe, then you get both the excitement of the roller coaster and the safety of knowing that I'm harnessed in really tight.
Okay.
And I think with that, it's worth you recognizing that, choosing to do whatever you do or don't want to do with it, but recognizing that to know that people are both caught off guard and comfortable with you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And when you talk about things, you have the advantage of when you talk about things that people can't relate to, they already might not be relating to you. So their ego is put aside. But when you talk about things that people can relate to, they may not be relating to somebody that they didn't think they would. So this is a very long-winded way of saying, I would also challenge you to keep doing the jokes the way you've been doing them, but do more of those 2-minute, 3-minute, longer explaining who you are in your dating life. Because I think that that's the only way you're going to feel comfortable making those funny.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that when I have done those, they don't work. Like this one that's like about, well, life is like really interesting, or the one that's about dating. I know they don't work at getting a laugh based on my experience doing it, but it was like, how can I express that same thing while like something, because I think it would be cool hypothetically to be able to do stand-up jokes that also express a feeling that I have, but I haven't really figured out how to do that while also being funny. Whereas I have figured out some jokes that it seems like they get laughs when I've told them. And so maybe figuring out how to combine that.
When you're doing 10 minutes and you want to fill space, do a lot of the jokes that you feel work.
Yeah,
but
that's what I do. That's what I try to do. Like, and then do ones where it's like, I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's fun to try it still.
And whatever version of that is the best one, in your opinion, maybe that also means the tightest. Next time you do a show that's in front of a paid audience, try one. Get a taste of once, don't open with it, but get a taste of once people are like, who is this quirky guy? I think he's really funny. And once they like you, try one of your things.
As is, even though I know it. Well, yeah, I guess that's a good point. It goes back to what you said of don't base it off of just doing it once at the open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good advice. That's good advice, yeah.
Yeah, also, pardon me, I'm not meaning to like, it's just based off some of the answers you've given me. My thought isn't like, who am I to give you advice? I don't mean it like that.
Well, I would take any advice anyone would give me. In your blanket, Phil.
What's a blanket statement? I mean, anybody gives you? But I would say this.
Well, any experienced stand-up like you would give me, I would take their advice and welcome it, so you don't have to say sorry that you gave advice, or not sorry, but excuse me.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. I also feel like I'm not just coming from you as somebody who's been doing stand-up for a bit longer. I'm also coming to you as somebody who I found out later in my life that people received me in a way that I had no idea. And that's why I'm asking if you could define how people are receiving you.
Mm-hmm.
And once I learned that, it's not like I figured it all out. I just realized, there's a new obstacle.
True.
Now I have to like figure out if people think this is funny or they like this or not.
Yeah.
And I think the combination, and I see some of that in you, and I'm projecting that, of course, but I still feel that way. I felt that way when I found you online, and I felt that way when I watched you on the Bad Friend show.
Cool.
And so I feel like I could relate to you in a way, and something that really helped me out was recognizing that people might see me differently than I see me. And in addition to that, recognizing that the way I see me, I like. And if other people don't see me that way, I want to learn why they don't, and then make a decision to either adapt or be like, no, I want to keep doing this. Mm-hmm. And from what you're saying of these longer things you want to do that people aren't laughing at, you're not getting the validation externally. And I just, again, pardon me repeating myself, but I want to challenge you to not prioritize the external response. Consider it. Just don't prioritize it. And go up there in front of a paid audience. And if it doesn't get laughs, but you realize like, this part worked, then you got something out of it.
Okay. That's good. I like that.
I only assume who you are based on the many things I've seen of you.
True.
And because I really don't know who you are that well, that's where I think that's a place for you to level up.
Okay.
Once the audience, myself included, starts to see who you are a little bit, I think that's more valuable and will offer more sustainable laughs.
Okay.
Especially in longer sets.
Cool. Yeah, because I want to do an hour-long thing at someday.
Yeah. I've been doing stand-up for a while. I only recently started doing hours. I would do different 20-minute sets all the time.
Or even 20 minutes would be cool.
Longer sets, I'm loving it, by the way. The hour that I'm doing right now, I love so much. And I couldn't get out what I'm getting out in a 20-minute set.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much is when we establish as a comedian who we are, or at least who we want them to, parts of that we want them to see at first. Then later on, it's not just about the punchline. It's you validating the character that they see you as, and or diverting away from the character that they see you as. And once we like you and you're so likable, things are just funny because it's such a strong point of view. Man, I apologize. I'm really talking so much about this, and I know you said I don't have to, but like, I think I'm talking to both of us right now.
Yeah, and on the Pizza Party podcast, I like to let my guests talk about these kind of things a lot.
I appreciate that.
And I wanted to cut to a 15-second clip of Lisa Gilroy on your podcast real quick.
And so this is going to be now 2 minutes and 15 seconds?
And yeah.
Well, if we're going to...
And then it was like a Naughty Dog production. It'd be like, Naughty Dog.
I like those things.
Me
I do them
too.
on here sometimes, where it's like at the end, it's like wee, wee, rawr, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like babies, tiger.
K95 FM. The only show in the world. Hey, entering alien zone. We are about to have the comedy channel of the sensation. Get that guy out of my office. Oh, Mr. Thomas.
Cut
And
to
then
it.
we're back.
So I don't know what clip we cut to, but you're going to have to send me something.
Okay.
To cut to, a timestamp of 15 seconds, and we'll put that in there.
Okay.
What's your goal with comedy? As far as a career, not just about how people...
Do you have a restroom that I could use, or do you wait until after? And then I can come back to that.
What do you guys think?
Leave a comment if you'd
Leave
be
a comment
upset.
right now if you think you could go to... Okay? If you go straight, and then you make a right, and then if you look all the way down, you'll see a toilet straight ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, brother.
Did you go pee or poop?
I peed.
I knew it. So your goal with comedy, is it to be a stand-up comedian?
Oh, sorry.
Bring it even closer, would you?
Okay.
Like this. Yeah.
So, so my goal with comedy is to have fun and to entertain people. And in terms of specific career outlook, well, I guess the goal is just to eventually do a show where I invite people to come and hopefully have them enjoy it, and to keep doing, I guess, just keep feeling more comfortable with that.
With that?
Doing stand up, and maybe to do an hour-long show someday, and to do comedy sketches, and physical comedy is very fun. I really like doing that.
Like the way in the bathroom, I mean, there's no camera in there, but I heard when you were peeing and you slipped and you fell and you hit your head on the porcelain and you went, "Oh, brother."
Yeah.
You were doing that for me, I assume? Or did you really fall?
That was physical comedy.
Yeah, it was funny.
And here's a clip of me doing physical comedy.
New year, new me. 1, 2, 3. Bing. Ow! 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 That's why I don't do New Year's resolutions.
And what was that we just saw? What physical comedy was that?
That was the New Year, New Me. That was the New Year's. That's I get run over by a car. They've seen that. So that was just a recent TikTok I posted.
Do you want to see me doing a little bit of physical comedy?
Yeah.
Can I get a suggestion?
Bigger roll of six.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Mr. No Teeth. LSD. Reruns of Entourage.
There's so many suggestions. That's it. My name is Rick Glassman.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been liking to add like multimedia into my stand-up, even in post.
Cool.
Yeah. When you were growing up in Texas, and where in Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas. I was recently in Dallas at the Improv.
Cool.
I loved it there.
Oh, awesome.
Did you, if it's okay, I don't want people to see my doggy's penis.
Okay, so put him over here. Will he still feel comfortable? All right, I guess that made him
Come here,
feel
bub.
weird. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was only being playful because his penis just came out.
Oh, okay.
Like, his penis is huge. He gets it after his father. The pug. His dad's a pug.
Okay.
And his mom's Jewish, actually.
It only passes through the woman?
What is it?
Judaism? Being Jewish?
Well, they say that if the mom has to be Jewish, because otherwise they're not. If the mom's not Jewish and the dad is, they can't be convinced that that's the actual dad. But that was before blood work. But
Okay.
now you could get blood work to find out if you're.
Okay,
But still,
okay.
yeah, I think so. If like the mom's not Jewish, which is pretty wild, man. Because a lot of people talk about like, oh, it's such a man's world, but like, yeah, but if the mom's not Jewish, then you're, you know, so
Yeah.
like in some ways, it's a woman's world.
Mm-hmm.
What was your friend group like growing up?
Pretty a nice kids. Yeah. I guess just typical kids.
Playing kickball.
Yeah.
Did you have? Were there like Brian, Anthony, Sarah, and Zach? Like, were there certain friends that were your group, or was it just random throughout the school?
I had a specific group of friends before I moved, and then it would be more of like random kids here and there once I moved. Yeah.
Were you funny as a kid?
Can
we cut to a clip?
Yeah, of me on YouTube.
Were you on YouTube as a kid?
I was on YouTube after I turned 15. So as a teenager, but I don't really have. Yeah, I don't think before that.
Let's swipe to it.
Here's a clip of me in high school.
Go like this.
And we're back.
And what was that?
That was a clip of me in high school.
No, I know, but what were you doing? Coming all over the menu?
No. Let's see.
Are you just gonna make it up? Didn't you already film it?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what would be like a funny one to insert.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, you did so many when you were 15.
Yeah.
You wanted to decide later?
Yeah.
And then you could comment to explain. People should comment to explain what that clip was like.
Yeah. And leave a. Yeah. Okay.
When was the last time you broke up with your girlfriend? Your girlfriend and I broke up 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Have you had a girlfriend since?
No, that's the only girlfriend I've had.
Are you straight?
Yes.
You're not bi?
No.
Are you okay with people who are bi?
Yes.
Good.
And you are as well, I'm guessing.
Oh, dude. I prefer it.
Cool.
Yeah. I love when people are bi.
That's good.
I don't know if I prefer it, but I like it.
You're equally accepting of everything. Unless it's harmful.
I think so. Yeah. I'm trying to think, is there something that I haven't really been able to accept yet? I guess I don't know where to stand. And I also don't need to make a choice on this because it doesn't involve me. But like when children transition before their period, or before their puberty,
yeah,
because like, oh, that's something that like, are they old enough to make a decision that they won't regret later on? But at the same time, if they don't do it before puberty, then later on they'll regret that they didn't do it. So like, I mean, I sometimes I think, oh, I'm glad I didn't have that obstacle to have to consider. I don't think that's accepting as much as me not truly understanding it. But other than that, like if you like to eat vagina or eat butt or suck dick, and if you identify as whatever you like, all that, like, yeah, come on the podcast. But I guess like I don't know. I haven't had anybody who's 13, 12, 11 years old or under, like I haven't had any pre-pubescent podcast guests that have and that we've talked about transitioning. So like I don't know.
Have you had any kids on your podcast?
Yeah. I've had a few.
Cool. Here's a clip.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, my love, Iris DeWalt. Oh, sorry. There we go. Can I hear your levels? How's your first Christmas? Can I get you anything? Something to drink? A little milk? Is your diaper okay? Do you have a little poo-poo? A little pee? Do you want some? Do you want some boob? Iris, do you want some boob? That's something you and your dad have in common. Both like boobs.
Do you have a girlfriend? Was that who I met at the comedy show?
That was a girlfriend of mine. We are no longer together.
Are you heartbroken? Or if that's not too prying, you can skip that.
No, it's okay. Breakups are very, very hard.
I guess what I mean was that an important relationship, or was it?
They're all important,
okay.
I think. Yeah, I think they're all important.
Cool.
Yeah, it's hard. Breakups are hard. I have experienced them a few times, and something I've learned with and been reinforced with each time, there's a very similar feeling of grief at the end of a breakup. And when I recognize that that feeling feels similar, even though that these girlfriends were very different, that I realized that, oh, this feeling really isn't about them. This is a me feeling, and I still have that feeling, but it does make it easier to recognize a pattern of like, oh, this is a horrible feeling that gets easier over time. And just knowing it gets easier over time makes it easier to grieve it.
True. Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel similar to like the fires that have been happening, in LA and how scary it is. And, I've had, I don't know how many, do you have friends that have lost their homes?
One friend, I don't know if he lost his home, but he can't live in it for a while.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like maybe contaminated by smoke or something.
I have a fair amount, including some guests of this podcast, Harry Mack, Sona Movsesian, they lost their homes.
She works with Conan.
Yeah. And in those areas, it's very contaminated. It's the smoke, but even further away, like where we are, you go outside, you don't see the smoke. But I feel, from what I've heard, and there's so many different people saying stuff, there's asbestos and plastics and heavy metals and all these things that like are in the air, these poison. I mean, that's why I think the mix is okay, it's on low, but an air filter, and I'm wearing masks outside, and I'm very uncomfortable. And it's reminding me of that feeling I had during COVID when you saw that Postmates driver came over there out on the balcony, like, I was very scared, and afterwards, looking back, I'm like, oh, some things made sense to be cautious of, and some things, if I knew now what I knew then, I wouldn't have cared as much. Like having my groceries delivered to my home and then washing my potato chip bags in the sink with soap and water. I mean, it was insane. I was losing it, as a lot of people were.
It was scary. You're talking about COVID. Yeah.
But now that it's happening again, I'm having it. I'm analogously talking about like breakups where you still have that feeling, but you recognize this. I'm having this overwhelmed feeling of like I'm scared and I'm uncomfortable, and it's making me think of COVID. Like, well, Rick, that was scary and uncomfortable. And some of the precautions you took were great, and some of them were maybe a bit obsessive.
Yeah.
Maybe as I'm doing things now, I'm trying to trust my instincts of, does this feel obsessive? And sometimes when I say yes, I'm able to not focus on it as much, but I'm still having that scared feeling.
That seems like really good advice for people about, just learning from the past.
Yeah.
I lost my sense of smell from COVID. I haven't had it for a couple years, but I was pretty scared of COVID, and I'm not very scared of the smoke.
Well, you can't smell it.
True. And yeah.
You're not scared of the smoke?
Not saying that other people shouldn't be, but connecting to your thought, like that has been similar for me, where I was very nervous about catching COVID. And then I haven't been as nervous because, things can kind of diminish a little as you experience more things. Kind of going back to your breakups get easier.
Yeah. It's a relative term, easier though. But yes. Were you heartbroken?
Yeah.
Did she break up with you? Or did you break up with her, or was it mutual?
Maybe mutual.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you still think about it ever?
Yeah, but it doesn't feel painful when I think about it.
Is she in your life still?
I ran into her a few months ago.
Did you say, excuse me?
That's funny.
Anyway, how'd you run into her? Where were you guys?
She was just in my neighborhood.
Doing her thing?
Yeah.
Did you see her first or she you first?
I saw her first.
And did you say
hi?
That quietly? So you ran into her where you guys were very close? You didn't see her across the way?
I didn't physically run into her. I just waved at her as I approached her.
And?
Said hi.
And?
It was nice to say hi.
How long did it go?
5 minutes.
Did she say, hey, I've seen some of your stuff that you've been doing?
No.
Would you like to if she had?
I don't care.
You don't care at all?
I don't think so.
You don't think about her anymore like that?
I don't think so.
If she said, would you like to get dinner with me? Would you want to?
Maybe I don't know if I want to talk about it more, not from the standpoint of I don't want to talk about it, but it's just, you never know how something can make someone feel.
I understand.
Yeah.
I do have a surprise for you though.
Okay, awesome. Is she here?
You're going to have to put your headphones on, Dax, so you could hear.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello? Yeah?
Hey, remember I told you that I was having Dax on my podcast?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to say hello.
Hello.
Oh, what's up?
How's it going?
I mean, I guess all right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like Rick Glassman?
I mean, I'm not that familiar with like.
You should watch one of his clips. Check it out.
I don't watch clips. You know that. Or maybe you don't. I don't know what you were really tuned into when we were together.
That must be a new development.
What?
I think that's a new development. I remember we used to watch clips sometimes.
Oh, well, now I don't watch clips anymore. Yeah?
Dax didn't feel very comfortable talking about why you guys broke up. I asked if it was mutual, and he said, maybe. Could you kind of talk about it? Dax, do you feel comfortable as
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
What happened?
Excuse me. I mean, listen, like, what do you want me to say? You're not always necessarily right for each other. And it just didn't work out. I don't want to get into like anything physical and
But will you?
I mean, it's your call.
I mean, from what I hear, please, Dax, is it okay if she gets into something physical?
Yeah.
I mean, we could bleep anything or cut any of this out. I am curious what physical things have to do with it.
I wouldn't be comfortable. I don't want to I'm not like a mean person, and he knows that. I don't want to air out certain things, but
Yeah, you're definitely a nice, good person, but I don't mind. You can say
Thank
whatever
you.
you want if it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would honestly make me feel good, and that's like part of the reason it was just easier to move on. And like when I saw you at the store, I was like, oh fuck, like I was almost gonna do that thing where you pretend you didn't see someone, like you make like a split second of eye contact and then you start walking the other way, like you act like you didn't see them, but then I felt like we held eye contact too long.
Yeah, I was just kind of waving as I walked up, and it seemed like that would be hard to do.
I was like, oh fuck, there goes Dax Flame.
Because okay.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Literally in my head, I thought the sentence, oh fuck.
You didn't
there
seem
goes
like
Dax
that.
Flame. Really?
Yeah, but I'm glad you're telling me that because I wouldn't have expected that. So that's nice to.
Yeah, I'm just like
hear
in my head, like fucking motherfuck. Dax Flame's ass is walking towards me, and I'm like, Dax Flame, really? Right now, Dax Flame? I was just, I was like having a day.
Did you have other thoughts or just that a lot?
I just kept going, Dax Flame? You know when you say some words and you're like, is that even how it sounds? Like,
Yeah.
Dax Flame is your real name?
Did you enjoy talking to me?
I was so caught up on the name thing, but but I don't know. I guess it was all right. I mean, it's really weird, right? Like when you're with someone and you share so much and you have so many, someone becomes a habit and then you break the habit and sometimes it's just very easy to feel nothing.
I see.
That same person.
Yeah.
So earlier, Dax was telling me that you guys dated for about a year, and he just got into stand-up comedy about 8 months ago. April will be a year. So that's 8 months. Anyway, he said that he wrote some jokes that about like how his ex-girlfriend had a lot of periods, and then I'm like, I was confused because it's like a lot feels relative. Like
the phrasing was wrong.
More than one a month. Do you have like more periods than the typical woman?
Or is he used to dating older women or younger women?
Well, if it's more periods, it couldn't be older women.
That was just a phrasing mistake. I should have said my ex used to get periods sometimes, regularly.
Right, but it's like you wanted that more of a high impact start to your joke.
Yeah. It was a coincidence, or whatever you would say. That was an accident.
Right.
Not intentional. Yeah, it was not intentional.
So your periods are the average amount you think compared to other women?
I mean, I'm not going to pull out my like period tracking app for this podcast, but
will you send a screen grab of it so we could put it up here?
Probably not. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. But how's your stand-up going? I'm trying to think. Like, I'm like, were you funny? I'm trying to imagine. Like, did we laugh?
I think that we laughed, but I wasn't stand-up funny.
Yeah.
And
or
now,
just, yeah.
Oh,
or
sorry.
even like situationally, like just like a absurd way. You weren't really like that, and then you weren't really like cutting. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what way.
More just like funny things would happen, and we'd laugh about that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Trying to think.
Yeah. But stand-up is going decent. I'm new to it, and so I'm okay with it going decent.
And do you, when the MC brings you up, is the MC usually like, please welcome to the stage, Dax Flame?
Yeah. No, they just say Dax. Because I just go to this open mic where they don't know my last name or my stage last name.
Where is it?
Hollywood.
What's the venue?
The Hollywood Comedy.
The Hollywood Bowl.
No.
Do you know that the Hollywood Bowl does open mics now?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome if that's true.
Yeah.
What's new with you?
Well, like I said, I stopped watching clips and I'm just sort of trying to just get through each day.
Do you have anything you'd like to promote while you're on a podcast?
Anything you want to plug?
Well, I am moving to Austin.
Okay.
Wow. Why?
It's so inspiring there. I don't know if I mentioned, but I've started doing stand-up too.
Whoa. Okay. Awesome.
How long
Yeah.
have you been doing it?
I've been doing it about 6 days, 6 nights.
Oh wow, you've already done the Hollywood Bowl?
I do it day and night.
Could you tell us any of your jokes that you've been doing that you feel like that are like have a lot of potential? They don't have to be
Yeah.
super funny yet.
I don't want to be alarming, but did you hear about the alarm clock fire?
No.
That's one of them.
Oh. Oh, because of alarming.
Yeah.
Have you tried switching the alarming part to make that the punchline? Can I hear what that would sound like?
You do it, and I'll see if I like
Yeah.
it.
Did you hear about the alarm clock fire?
No.
Oh, well, it's quite alarming.
I mean, I honestly prefer it my way.
Okay. Dax, can we hear how you would do it either way?
Dax, how would you phrase that one?
There's a new fire called the alarm clock fire, and it's alarming.
Yeah, that's
to
actually
me.
my favorite of the three.
Whatever you said first was good. I liked yours.
It's natural.
A natural.
Do you think if Dax was interested in getting a dinner with you, just as friends and to kind of get to know each other again, figure out like
Yeah.
what you like to do in place of clips, etc., would you be interested
Yeah.
in getting a dinner with him before you go to Austin?
Is this call like Dax is no pun intended, but holding a flame for me still, and saw me looking hot at the grocery store and is now trying to like shoot his shot through a podcast through Rick Glassman?
Dax didn't even know that I found you. I found you because I was going through, it's a really boring story, but I was going through his social and blah, blah, blah. So no, he didn't even know that I was going to call you. But I am getting vibes that Dax is kind of like has moved on. But I also like he hasn't had a girlfriend since you. And I wonder maybe even for closure or to figure out some stuff.
Like to talk. I'm not really into
Like in High
closure.
Fidelity.
You know, it's like if your parent dies or something, you might have to come and have closure on your own. That's kind of how I feel with like the relationship. I'm like, what are we gonna have lunch and sit there and chew salad
Maybe
together?
you guys can hook up.
Just choose salad and recap. Like, I feel like, is there anything you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say?
How's I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I am.
All right. Is there nothing you want to plug?
Stand up in Austin.
Yeah,
you're just
and
moving
right
to
now I'm dating a Moroccan guy, and he has a family restaurant that you should check out.
What's it called?
And I can't remember the name, but there's not a ton of them in LA. Anyway, it's really good, and his family's awesome. He's moving to Austin with me.
Are you going to be excited to go do sets at Joe Rogan's comedy club, The Mothership?
Oh my gosh, it's one of my biggest dreams.
Yeah?
Also, we're gonna do like duo stuff together because he's super funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Are you thinking of? Do you think you'll change your name because of the other Dax?
Shepherd?
Yeah. No.
The rapper. The rapper Dax?
The other Dax.
Okay.
There's Dax, the rapper, and then Dax Shepard.
And there's also Dax Thompson.
I don't know that person.
Mm.
Well, thanks for letting us call.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
And congratulations on getting into stand-up. If you have anything on tape with you and your Moroccan boyfriend that we could cut to before this episode comes out, will you send it to me so we could see a little bit about what kind of alarm clock shit, whatever you're doing?
I don't do any taping and stuff because of my new clips thing.
Got it. You don't only not watch clips, you don't want to make them.
I don't want to be in them. I don't want to see them. I want the world to start kind of gearing itself up to be clip free.
Okay. Well, I would say I'll send you this, but I don't think that's something we should do.
Yeah, Yeah, let me think about it. But maybe Rick.
Yep.
If you want to text me, I'd be open to continuing to talk to you.
Oh.
Romantically?
Who said that? Dax or what's his face?
Rick.
I'm open to talking to Rick because I already feel like I kind of got to know you and we did our thing, but I'm interested in Rick now.
Dax, would that bother you? Or-
I'm in a
That would feel weird.
open thing with the Moroccan guy.
Moroccan guys are usually open.
Well, it's like we're in a work relationship and we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket.
Work relationship. Do you work with them at the restaurant, or you mean because you're a 2-person act?
Rick, what are you looking for? Or are you involved with your dog?
Involved with my what?
Your dog?
I mean, yeah, but I'm single and. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's weird.
You can talk it. I don't mind.
How about I message you
excited.
later, and I want to talk to Dax about see how he feels. But
Okay, talk to Dax Flame.
Can I ask you one more question?
Who said that? Dax or Rick?
Dax.
I cannot. It's funny. For an entire year we were copulating, and I cannot recognize that voice.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could ask.
What?
I could ask another question.
Yes, of course.
What kind of
Go
material do you do besides that one joke?
Observational.
Cool. Okay.
Can we hear something else?
Well, I did the alarm clock one.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, because I'm kind of tight on material, I'm using that as my opener and my closer.
What are you doing in between?
Just a little bit of odds and ends. I'm still kind of, obviously it's only been 6 days.
Right. So
I'm doing mostly 5-minute sets, so it's pretty much an alarm fire sandwich.
Now, question: how do you know when your 5 minutes is up? Do you set an alarm?
See, Rick, this is why I want to get to know you. Your mind is insane.
That was me, actually.
What?
That was me that made that joke.
Yeah,
No
me,
way.
Rick.
Don't fuck with me.
So yes, maybe
There's
just as
no
a
way.
setup, you could turn your alarm clock on at the beginning and let people know.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I'm sort of leaning into when people wear monochromatic colors, like doing an entire set on one topic, which is really narrow, I think is cool.
Speaking of narrow, if I don't show it on the podcast after we hang up, I would love for you to send me your period calendar. For me, for just seeing where you're at and when would be a nice time to get dinner.
Well, I'd rather get dinner first and then send you those screenshots after.
Interesting. It's kind of like how you like to say it's quite alarming first, and I like to say it after. I'll compromise with you.
Yeah.
And
we
each
have
other's
different
sentences.
instincts.
What's that?
Sandwiches. What?
Listen, I have your number, and I'm glad I have it. And
me too. Sorry, Dax.
Sorry, Dax.
That's okay.
I'll text you later just as a friend.
Cool.
Yeah, of course. And that's always the best way to start.
Start what?
Talking.
Well, unlike you and Dax, you're breaking up. So, like you and Dax. The phones, I don't want to say too much now because I don't want to say it on the podcast and I don't like to talk about my private life or that kind of stuff, but I will text you and I really like talking with you.
Okay, same. Can't wait.
All right.
I'll be around.
All right, bye.
Talk soon.
Congrats.
Just as a friend. And maybe I could get in a Moroccan restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a woman's Moroccan restaurant?
A woman's Moroccan restaurant?
Yeah.
No. That's what you call her. Oh, okay. It feels weird to transition from headphones to no headphones.
Yeah. That's how I feel transitioning, that she might feel transitioning between you and me.
True.
Speaking of transitioning, that's kind of where this conversation started to begin with.
Yeah.
Do you want a girlfriend now?
I would like a girlfriend, yeah.
So cute. So there's as far as male comedians are concerned, I have the largest female audience of all male comedians. A significant portion of my audience is very kind, attractive women.
Okay.
So do you want to? We'll put a little music up. We could push in a little bit on you, And do you want to like do a little dating profile? And
Sure.
Then people and I guess to where they can message you, they could just message you on Instagram
or just meet me in person, but like run into me somewhere and say hi.
Well, they're not going to know where you are.
If they ran into me,
if they
can say
ran
hi.
into you, right now you're basically saying, "Hey, you could come speak to me."
Yeah,
great. So if you could look,
and if anyone sees this and wants to say hi, romantically interested or not, say hi.
But let's just
but
talk
don't
to
track
the
me
people
down.
who are, yes.
Speaking of, I did get a weird email last week that someone was going to come beat me
all
up
over the menu. Oh.
And then I also did get confronted by someone, a stranger, just walked up to me and threatened to kill me.
Did they know who you were? Or
No,
they were just
just a kind of crazy person.
That's a bummer.
So if I'm
wait, the person that messaged you, what
they
you know what? Let's not even talk about it.
Let's not talk about it. It'll incite more.
Yeah. But let's talk about people messaging you that they don't want to pound you, but they want you to pound them in their Moroccan restaurant. So if you could look to camera and just, hi, I'm Dax, and talk about a couple of things about you that you think would offer value to the woman, but also talk about some of the things that you're looking for.
Hi, I'm Dax. I'm 33, and
boy, are my arms tired.
What?
Boy, are my arms tired.
And boy, are my arms tired.
Do it again. I'm sorry. Do it again. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Wait, start over?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm Dax. I'm 33, and I would like to go on a date.
Do you want to workshop it with me for a second?
Yeah, I can give you Rick Glassman's phone number.
No. I'm saying you and I like.
That was just a joke. That's my pitch.
I think open up with a joke. Open up.
I wouldn't ever give out anyone's phone number.
Yeah. Me neither. That even when somebody says to me, if like I have two friends and I know they're friends, or I assume they're friends, and friend A says, "Hey, could you give me friend B's phone number?" I ask friend B first.
True. Yeah. Same.
So open with a joke. I think maybe you could do your Sasquatch joke.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
And
true.
then once you do that, let people know that's just a joke I'm doing. You don't have to say these words, but somehow getting across that's just a joke I'm doing. I am a comedian. I love being funny. I also love, like you said, letting people feel good. Whatever your version is.
True.
I live in Los Angeles, and I'm looking for, what is it in a girlfriend? Are you looking for?
Just someone who I enjoy hanging out with.
Yeah. So what would you be doing that you're hanging out that you would enjoy?
Going for a walk, getting some food, seeing a movie.
So the simple pleasures. Maybe even saying something like that, like enjoying your company is enough. I mean, simple things like just I love eating or walking or seeing movies.
Yeah.
Something like that to let them know so they can maybe picture what it is that you two might be doing with each other.
Yeah.
And then some type of call to action. If you see me at a show, please introduce yourself, say hello, or if you want to send me a message, I would love that as well.
Okay.
And then say your name of your Instagram.
Okay.
And where could do you? And then great.
So and then just tell me if I should. We could do it again if I forget anything.
Yeah. Do you want me to repeat?
I think I can remember it.
Great.
Hey, I'm Dax Flame, and my girlfriend is kind of like Bigfoot. She doesn't exist. And that's why I'm looking for love. And I like to go for walks. I like to go to movies. I like to do the simple things. And I'm looking for someone who likes the same. Come say hi to me if you ever see me walking around Hollywood, LA, or I have social media or an email. And feel free to contact me.
This episode of Take Your Shoes Off is a special Love on the Spectrum Shoes Off style with our guest, Dax Flame. Cold open. That could be our cold open. That way, if people don't get it to the end, they see the most important part.
I see. Welcome to the show.
Cold open already happened.
Okay.
We could keep this part into the cold open too.
Leave a comment if you skipped this part or if you've watched all the way through. If you've watched all the way through, say all the way watcher.
Yeah.
And
if you didn't, then say I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to say.
So we could tell them something.
Well, they won't hear it.
Yeah, they skipped to this part.
You're saying they skip the middle and just watch the end?
If this is the most clicked on part, they might skim and then just see this.
Okay.
So if you skipped part of the episode and you're just seeing this, say skipper.
Yeah. I like that. Anything you want to promote?
Not Nothing. I just do social media.
Dax Flame on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. And
can I say you can cut it out? They can assume that, I'm sure. Or you can cut that out if you don't want that to be included.
Well, what I do have something that I would prefer, but more than what I would prefer editorially, I prefer that you feel the most comfortable. So if you'd like to leave that disclaimer in, we can. If you don't,
I don't care.
Well, you know what? We'll bleep the disclaimer. People could probably figure, oh, there's a disclaimer. I wonder what that was. And they could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
And if they don't figure it out, then that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you change your mind, you could text me and we'll bleep anything you want.
Okay.
Yeah. I want you to walk away from this and be like, man, I'm glad I did that. Or at least there's nothing. It didn't matter that I did that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, like,
well, I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also feeling pretty loose right now. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Do you have any jokes you want to make?
No. I feel like what was already in the episode is pretty good. I could do something if you need me to, or if you want me to.
Just if you're feeling loose and you wanted to take advantage of that to entertain them, you can.
I mean, I didn't realize how late it was. My alarm clock broke. Did you hear what happened with the alarm clock fire?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I wonder why all these things keep breaking. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to
the
another
Pizza
episode.
Party podcast. You're a great first guest.
Do you mind if I let people know that this wasn't really your podcast on the pizza one? Or should we bleep that?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, maybe taking your own advice, maybe say it slowly.
Leave a comment if your arms are tired, just to do the, and then, yeah, you could say whatever.
Also, but only leave one comment if your arms are tired instead of 5, because...
And delete all your other comments.
No. No. I want to know what they said.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, thanks for coming over, Dax. If you stay there for a moment, I'm going to take a Polaroid of you. I'm going to ask you to sign it.
Cool.
And then that picture will be the cover of the audio only. And then we'll put it at the end of the video YouTube.
Cool.
All right. Theme music?
Yes. That's fun.
We could have AI make a video of us getting the pizza in a quick montage and eating it and then coming and sitting back down.
Cool.
Just in case we don't do that, could you just eat some pizza with me? It's not bad without the cheese, right?
Yeah.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoot.